doing our coded story. So hopefully you'll recognise these three little characters from the story outline that was done in Google Slides. So first of all, I'm going to show you something about putting backgrounds in. So if I go into here, you can either go into here and upload it, or you can go into here and upload. So I want to upload a backdrop. I've got the top of the stairs, it's my last one, my cave one. Open. As you can see, I've got a bit of a gap. You can see it on the stage here. Got a bit of gap either side as well. So what you do is you go into select and you select the area of your background, and it gives you the little grabby box thing, grabbies here, to increase its size. Right. Then down. Now if you don't quite get to the bottom, I just move it up a little bit, make it that little bit bigger, and then pull it down. Now I have what I need. Brilliant. Okay. Now I also had in my little story outline, I wanted to make it so I had an extra pot face that had no face on it. Here's the original GIF. It has a face on it each time. So I just rubbed out, used the eraser, rubbed out, and then found the pot, did a fill. And if I wanted to copy a colour, all I have to do is go in and use my little picker, pick out the colour I wanted, and it adjusts perfectly. And then you can fill with the colour you wanted. So it sort of gave that the same colour. The fairy, I wanted to make it so she looked like she was, her wings were beating. So I just went in and changed it. And the same for this one. Went in, just changed it so that she was, looks like she was flying. Okay. So I've already done all that. And the leprechaun, that's his original costume. And what I've done is I've kept his original as original, and then when I wanted to just do next costumes, there he is, and dancing. So I'll be able to go from 2 to 6 with the dancing sequence. Right, so we're ready to start his thing. So first of all, my first backdrop, I want it to be this one. So when I code, I'm going to go into events. Oops, yes, I'm going to pull out this one. And I'm going to say on there that I want it to be, when the flag drops, this one I want. So switch backdrop to, check the name of it. Yep, Bantry Folk. Beautiful. So that will always be at the beginning. To start with, the fairy won't be there. So fairy, the back drops, she is going to be hidden. Sometimes she'll need a show, so I'll just pop that out there. And the same with the wee pot. Hide, show. So when I click the flag, this is what it's going to look like. Now, will I have him this big? Not quite sure. Maybe not quite this big. Try him at 70%. And you can start outside his home like this. So I'll need to go into events. So I want him here. Looks. Now it should be a set. Change size, set size 2. What have I got? 70% there. Yeah, that should be all happy. So now when I start my story, this is where it's going to start. This is how it's going to look. Right, so first of all, he is going to talk about going and looking for a pot of gold. Now, you've got a couple of choices. Well, you've got three choices. You can either have him say, you can do a speak, or you can record the voice for yourself. That's totally up to you what you would like to do. Okay. So I like the speech to text, quite nice. Don't think there's an Irish accent. So you've got the choice of these. So if I click on that, you can hear what it sounds like.
Hello.
Try tenor.
Hello.
That'll be all right. So you might need to pop in there that you're going to set the voice to tenor as well. So, okay. Right. There.
I'm off to look for a pot of gold.
If you wanted to, there is no reason why you can't put in the words as well.
I'm off to look for a pot of gold.
Except I think it would be better if you recorded it, because that way you can play it while it's happening. So go into here. Oh, used to be down there. Record one. I'm off to look for a pot of gold. Sounds more Scottish, doesn't it? Anyway, save that. Oops.
I'm off to look for a pot of gold.
Okay, go back to the coding. And yeah, recording one, that doesn't help much, does it? It's better. Right, so you use this one here because that way it's not bowing in till, so it should run together.
I'm off to look for a pot of gold.
Okay, so if you've got small children that you're wanting to show the story to, this is a really good way for them to see the words. If they can't read it, then they can just hear the story instead. So these are three ways you can add dialogue. So he's off to get his pot of gold, so we'll get him to walk over. So get rid of that. So what we're going to do is I might make a block for his walking, because this could be something that I'll be using quite a lot. So go into my blocks. Oh, there we go. Make a block called walking. Okay. Now we have to define what walking is going to look like. So I've made in his costumes from 2 down to 6. So he's walking sideways. So Back to my coding. Events. No control. Yes, we want a bit of wait time between each of them. Looks. Okay, so we're going to start with the first leprechaun. 2. And 0, 2, 5. Then needed to repeat 4 times. 2, 6. Yep. Go to the next costume. And a little bit of wait time in between. Okay. Now I've put that up there so it starts at the right place. So, good. And the other thing is we need some move in it. So depending on how fast you want them to move, okay, maybe starting Leprechaun 3. 3. All right. Go back to where you started. That's better. There we go. So that's him walking. So to put that up there, that defines walking. So now all I have to do is just use the block walking. And then depending on how many times I needed to do that, I can then put the repeat on it. So back to where you were. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it goes 8 for walking. And right. So now, once he's done his 8 walkings, he then needs to appear on the next scene. So this is where broadcasting is really good. So we're going to go into events. We're going to broadcast, message, on the moors. Okay, so when that happens, I want him to come back and start from the other end. So at the moment he's on y is minus 96. So I'll just take that out just to keep that in mind. So I want him out of here. I want him walking onto the moors, so I want him off the stage as much as possible. Minus 272 is the best I'm going to get. And minus 96, so it's on the same level as he was before. 96. There he is. Okay. And I might actually get him to hide. Whoops. and I'll show everything right before that. And then I'll have to get him to reappear, won't I, to show. So he can go straight to that new place. Go there, show. And that will be when he receives the message on the moor. There we go, so that's beginning on the moor. And then I'll have to change my backgrounds. So when it receives the message on the moor, we then change my background to this one, hopefully. There we are. It's got little caves at the top there. That's what I wanted. Perfect. Okay. So now he's there. I want him to walk across into the middle. So back to the coding of him. And let him walk back into the middle. Where we're going. How many times did I get him to walk? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 will do. So we go into control. And four times with the walking. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. Now, when it comes to coding, it pays to go back and actually make sure it's going to do what you want it to do. I'm off to look for a pot of gold. Right, I think that's doing what I wanted to do. So that's my first part of the tutorial.